I just logged into my Novo bank account this morning, which is the bank account I use for my business, for all of my online business income, for YouTube, for websites, for Shopify, for everything I do online. Everything gets funneled into this one business account. I wanted to share today how I have this set up and how all of the money gets automatically put in the place that needs to go, how I combine the system that I have, and kind of what's worked for me. Novo recently added a automated feature with the reserves, and basically you can automate money to go into up to 10 like sub accounts in your account, and it has been amazing for me. I previously basically did a percentage based system manually every time I got paid. So I would manually move 25% of my money into my tax account, to my tax reserve. I would manually move 50% of my income to my paycheck account so I could pay myself. And while that worked okay, it has been amazing to have it all automated. Today I'm going to run through the reserves I have, how much I have going into each of these accounts, and kind of show you the numbers, show you some screenshots of how Novo automatically does it. It's really awesome. I will link the video I have about Novo and why I think it's really awesome for small businesses. Okay, now I'm gonna run through my reserves and share kind of what goes into each and why. So first is expenses. I put 5% into a general expenses account. So 5% of everything that comes in goes into an expense account. This covers my web hosting, any software I need, all of my subscriptions like Canva and Adobe Premiere Pro, so things I use to edit my videos, to create printables. All of this is paid from this account, from my expenses reserve. And it's only 5% of my business because honestly, I don't have that many expenses. I have a home office, which I don't pay rent for. I have all of the gear that I need. I don't have a lot of expenses. So 5% goes into my expenses reserve, and this is for like ongoing monthly expenses that I pay for. However, I am trying something new with my expenses, so I've split it out into 2 new reserves. So basically, instead of having 10% go into a general expense account, I am doing 5% into that. And now I'm doing 2 new reserves for 2 different things, and each one is getting 2.5%. So I have a travel expense reserve. So basically 2.5% of my income is going into this travel one. Once this travel reserve builds up, I will be able to go to more conferences to kind of further my business. But right now I don't have a lot in there. So once 2.5% of my income builds up, I will, maybe decide to go to a conference or something like that. Having that money go straight to travel is kind of useful for me just because it separates it out, since that's not a normal ongoing recurring expense for me. Then I also have 2.5% go into a beauty fund, and this is for on-camera expenses so that I look appropriate on camera. So it's things like doing my hair, which obviously needs to be done soon since you can see my roots, things like that. So I use this 2.5% to do irregular beauty expenses. I really don't do it that often, as you may notice, but every once in a while I do things that I wouldn't otherwise do, but because I'm on camera, I feel like they're necessary, so I do those, and 2.5% of my income from the business goes toward that. So after my expense funds, I have taxes, which is also obviously an expense for my business, for the income I have. So for taxes, I have 25% of all of my income that comes into this account set aside for taxes. Then every quarter I pay my taxes. I pay estimated taxes quarterly based on what my CPA and I have decided and the income that's coming in. So 25% of my income goes straight to the taxes reserve. It's basically a sinking fund so that quarterly I'm able to pay my taxes and send them $1,000 at a time and not worry about it. Once money goes into my taxes sinking reserve, it is off limits for me. I never transfer out of this except straight to the government. The final 3 reserves are for paying myself and investing both into the business and future business things. And the first one is paychecks. I put 50% of everything that comes in into my paychecks fund, and I do let that little reserve build up a little bit. So I have several months of being able to pay myself in there. I want to be at least 2 to 3 months. I'm aiming for eventually maybe 12 months, but right now I'm only a couple months ahead of what I pay myself. But 50% of everything I make goes in there, and then I pay myself, and then everything else goes just in this account to build up to have future months of paychecks so that I'm several months ahead in case things go bad, in case all my income disappears or a recession happens or I can't work or things like that. There's so many things that can go wrong when you're a business owner. You want to have money set aside so that you can cover yourself for several months. Then once it gets to a certain amount, I usually transfer it out and send it to my SEP IRA and contribute there. then I purchase investments within my SEP IRA account. I no longer have a 401k, but I do have a SEP IRA, and that is what I currently contribute, and 5% of all of my income goes into that. Then my final investment reserve is I've earmarked it for real estate. This is all money in my account, and I am only separating it out so I know where it goes, which is really, really helpful, especially with it being automated. But once again, it's all just money in my business account. Eventually, I want to purchase real estate and become an investor. So I am putting 5% of all money that my online business, all of my online income makes, into this reserve. And then eventually that will be transferred out to purchase real estate and make an investment. So between those two, the SEP IRA reserve and the real estate reserve, I do have 10% of all income that's coming in set aside for various investments. So that is how I'm kind of investing back into my personal wealth and using my online income to grow my wealth. So basically every time money comes in, I have the percentage of that sent to these reserves. So it automatically does it for me, and that's so much easier than what I was doing. But now that it does it automatically, it's amazing, and I just automatically send the money every time I get paid. I don't have to do anything. It's so amazing. And then the next awesome feature that they have added along with the automated feature is that when you make a payment, you can choose what it comes from. So when I pay myself, I previously had to move money from my reserve to the available balance and then send it from there. But now it's pretty cool because you can choose what it comes from. So when you make a payment, you can choose, does it come from your available balance or does it come from paychecks? This makes it really easy so that I can draw the money from the right thing anytime I'm making a payment, whether I'm paying a vendor or doing something like paying myself or paying my taxes. It just makes it so much easier for me now that I can select what reserve I want it to come from, and I don't have to worry about moving the money over and making all these transfers and anything like that. These two features have made it really easy. This is how I've set up my business income. So I really just make money and then put it where it needs to go. That's kind of how I've kept my business simple, and then Novo has come along and automated all of that for me. So it's been really nice. I just wanted to share how I have things set up, and hopefully this helps someone else out there. If you want to watch my full review on Novo, I have it here. It is definitely not for everyone, but it's working perfectly for me and the type of business I have. So I love it. I will also leave my affiliate link in the bio if you want to sign up for Novo. It is free, but I do get a commission if you sign up. And of course, I will see you in the next video.